Hello, friends, and welcome to the 25th episode of the Squad Pod, where we love to talk about all our favorite battle royales and multiplayer games. I'm Maddox Jr., and hot dropping into this week's podcast, he is our little drummer boy, Kevin Esex.
Did you do Washburn? You hear it? That's what I'm doing. Actually, I'm doing it with the controller, but I'll talk about that later. It's a really good game. Trust me.
Ooh.
Fun game.
Cool. Our next guest likes his whiskey neat and his rays traced. Washburn, how's it going?
Sutted. Yeah, whiskey neat. Where'd you get that?
I don't know.
I take it on the
I
rocks.
just needed something to go with rays traced, you know?
Yes, I do like the rays traced. I do, for sure. I also like them in at least 1080p.
True.
At least.
Cool.
Whoa.
Yeah, bro.
Burns are happening already.
I know, it's crazy.
And this week we have a special guest. He makes the sickest edits. FoxToTheFuture. How's it going?
What up? I'm good. Thank you for having me on.
And then we have a
no
special
problem.
guest on.
He's listening in. His
Mr.
jabroni
Exercise
boy.
himself.
So if you're watching the YouTube version, just ignore that. He's just listening in. He was making sure the bills are actually being paid. Actually we're doing a good job. And it's Snowbike Mike.
Yeah, the boss is doing his audit on us,
Boo.
making sure we're behaving.
Yeah.
Correct,
Boo, Mike, boo. He's doing his workout, I think. He's not.
All
Yeah,
right.
we're
Well,
good.
this week the biggest game in all the land came out, Cyberpunk. We'll get to that later. We'll start off with a little talk about Fortnite because the Master Chef himself, Master Chief, has been added to Fortnite.
Mr.
When
Chef
you
is
said
what we call
Master
him.
Chef earlier, I thought you wanted us to talk about Overcooked.
No, I didn't.
And now I understand it was
Is it
just
because
about
Swedish
Master
Chef
Chief.
wasn't going to be in it? Is that his name? What's his name? Swedish Chef?
Yeah,
Gordon
Swedish
Ramsay?
Chef is gonna be an Overcooked.
No.
Swedish chief.
Yeah. He's going to be an Overcooked.
Someone match it up to a mashup.
Yeah, Washburn.
I don't know what that is.
That was
Muppets.
announced at the Game Awards.
Yeah.
The Muppet Swedish Chef is gonna be in Overcooked as a character.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
I know you're a big Overcooked fan,
Oh,
so
I missed
Love
that one.
Overcooked.
it was during
Yeah,
all the
I'm
Marvel
fantastic.
stuff announcements. That's why. So.
Yeah.
It was kind of sad though, Kevin. We were watching the Game Awards, and you're like, "Master Chief is live now," and I kind of wish that we hadn't known that, and we had just seen the trailer first.
That trailer came out
not
way after, though.
Yeah,
It
it
did,
came out
yeah.
like 30, 40 minutes after.
Yeah. So. I saved you some time.
You did save me some time. I personally just hopped into one game just to play as Master Chief and ride around in my tiny warthog.
Oh, did you do the capture the flag mode?
Oh, I did try that too.
I
Yeah,
didn't
it's
cool.
there's no building, so it's like
Oh, really?
interesting to say
building?
the least. Yeah.
Perfect. Hate building in that stupid game.
I mean, kind of, but like if you think about Blood Gulch, there's not very many places to hide, and like time to kill when you can't hide behind anything in Fortnite is actually kind of quick.
True.
So if someone hits you with like
Makes good points.
a sniper rifle and like one or two shots of literally any other gun, you're dead. But like
Yeah,
half
Blood
the team
Gulch
quit
is
on me
just an
before.
open field.
Yeah, it's mostly an
Oh,
open
that's
field.
true.
But they did a good job recreating it. It was pretty cool.
Oh, I'll have to check
It would
that
be
out.
fun to it would be fun to get everyone in there, but at the same time, I'd probably like play like half of a game and be like, "Why are we doing this? Let's just go play Halo, Blood Gulch, like we did a couple weeks ago, I guess. I made everyone play Halo 1 Blood Gulch OG
Why?
because it was the last game of the night, and I was like, what is more iconic than OG Blood Gulch Capture the Flag, bro?
I mean, I guess.
true.
Like when I think of Halo 1, I think of Hang 'em High. Personally, that's the map I go to.
I don't know.
I
There
think
was a
of
lot
Blood
of
Gulch.
time spent. Yeah, there was a lot of time spent with my friends since the vehicles aren't destructible in Halo 1. Just like throwing as many nades as possible to see how far into the sky you can launch a tank and whatnot.
I have no context of Halo 1 outside of the Master Chief Collection, so it's like all new to me. 1 and 2, actually, to be
Yeah,
fair.
we used
Really?
to
Yeah, I didn't get into Halo until Halo
split
3.
screen LAN.
Damn.
I feel like that's
I'm
when
a
a
young
lot of
baby,
people got
Kevin.
into it. I mean, if you think about the evolution of Xbox Live, you know,
Yeah.
Xbox Live was still so new when Halo 2 was released. So
For
I
sure.
mean, yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like by the time Halo 3 rolled around is when online gaming was really hitting its first stride, if you will.
Yeah, when the Xbox 360 launched, it was like everyone had this
Mhm.
Xbox Live at that point, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that makes sense. Damn. I did Halo 3. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, so they're just
2007, is that right?
Halo 3?
for Halo
Yes.
3. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I would have been
because
like,
they came in 3-year increments all the way up.
I think I would have been like
until
11 or
now.
12, maybe, when that game came out.
Jeez, how old was I? Let me do
I was
math.
probably like 11 or 12 when Halo 1 came out, so that makes
Really?
sense. What?
Halo 1. That was
Halo 1 is like
2001.
2001, so I was 11, 10,
I was
11.
10.
Yeah.
I was 7.
It's a little boy, little Kev.
I know, boy.
Little boys. Little boys too.
Am I the youngest one? No. How old are you, Fox?
24 this year.
Yes, thank God, dude. I'm not the youngest one now. Oof.
Oh,
You got that
that's
right.
close.
I'm not a young boy anymore. I'm a big boy.
He's a big,
Yeah,
big
well,
boy.
I guess my point
The way
was
you
just
said that doesn't really make your point.
I'm a big boy now.
Boy
Look
now.
at
True.
me.
Look at me.
Yeah, that's cool having a Master Chief in Fortnite alongside
Yeah.
with Kratos.
Yeah. That was where we started.
Forgot
Very
about that.
candid, Kevin.
What happened?
That's just
Watch
where
when-
I forgot. That's where we were.
Oh yeah,
I totally
I had,
forgot.
I had to
that
bring
that's
it
where we
back.
were.
I had to bring
Yeah.
it back.
Bring it
Yeah.
back, roll it back.
It was cool, yeah. And now you got alongside with Kratos, and then soon alongside with Daryl and Michonne from Walking Dead.
Oh yeah.
Did y'all see
forgot they were
the
announced that
pictures
too.
of like Kratos and Chief like high-fiving, and like people are posting those pictures all over Twitter with those two running around and like doing stuff.
I saw the
It's
high
really
fiving one.
funny.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really cool. And I-
Fortnite is
feel-
so crazy. It's literally like fan fiction now. You can just play as any character. Like, it's crazy.
I wonder when we'll see like a sort of red versus blue
That's what I was
style.
about to say.
Yeah, sort of
Oh,
like
yeah.
internet series where people are using these characters in really specific and funny ways, because like
oh,
it's it's
Oh.
prime for that.
I didn't think about
Even
that.
with
It is.
especially with like the creator mode and all the things you can do in there. So
Can
it's
you do stuff
probably,
like that in Fortnite? Like move the characters about and film it and stuff? Yeah.
I think
It
so.
records all the matches pretty much. You can like save entire matches in Fortnite. So
But like, are you having like different camera angles and stuff? Because the only
I
reason in
assume, like, in
Halo,
creative mode, maybe.
yeah, because in Halo, the only reason you were able to do that because you were in Forge
Spectator.
mode, or that too, in Spectator Forge
Yeah,
mode, you
Racer
can
mode, right?
have like the free roam cam type of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like bob your character's head
There
and all
must
that.
be some
Yeah.
way to make it happen in Fortnite, because it would be super cool to just like start making things with like.
I mean, if not, they
Man,
definitely should.
I
for
guess.
Sure.
I guess the thing about Red versus Blue is like Microsoft was like cool with them doing that, and if you tried to
Mhm.
like do that with Mando,
It's just too many
Chief, and
licenses.
Oh,
I mean, as
yeah,
long as you don't make money off of
Yeah.
it.
yeah, but you're gonna want to make money off of it, or you're gonna start accidentally making money off of it if it's actually good, right?
I'll be like, you want to watch it? Give me V-Bucks, dude. I need V-Bucks lately. I'm buying too many
Always need
skins.
V-Bucks.
I'm buying
Always
too
need
many.
V-Bucks.
Always, dude. Always.
You
Think-
gotta stop, Kevin. Calm down.
Dude, they don't stop. All right, tell them to stop.
Yeah, I gave him $20 for Chief and then quit the game. I didn't even play a game.
I played one game.
Yeah, I booted it up, spent $20, and then closed the application.
So you just spent $20. That's all you did.
Yeah,
For
and I
future,
will
you know.
like for every big video game character they drop, I will do that. Like I will just go in and buy them because without question and without regret, because it's hilarious. It's just so funny to like have all those, those skins and those characters all in one place, just in case we ever go back, which will never happen. But
we go back.
Just in case.
We go back.
Marvel, but like the Marvel season got us into it, Kevin. I don't know if like earning like extra things for Mandalorian's armor. I don't know if that's gonna do the trick for us grinding a battle pass.
At least I do. Yoda. Yeah, because I want to get Baby Yoda. He's at level 100.
It's like right to the end, right?
He's at 100.
Yeah, it's 100.
Yeah, that's a big prize.
It is.
Like, and I'm not even being sarcastic. I think that's a big, a big deal to put him at 100 it was really smart for them.
Oh yeah,
it was also super smart to put Mando at 1. Really,
Mando 1
got so many people
1 to 100. You need to make that full journey to get it. Is right.
Well, you get like his Beskar armor on the way there too, because you get different challenges,
quests.
Quests.
Yeah. We talked about it last week. I love everything they've done with the quests. I hated the big table. I hated it. The big old table with all the question marks and the locations. I hated that. It was just confusing to me. I love like pulling it up and just pressing the back button and they're all right there on the screen. It's so much easier for me to understand.
Well, technically, if you were doing it week to week, it wouldn't have been like that overwhelming,
Yeah, but I'm not, and I never will.
Yeah.
It would be nice if they had like a quest system like that in Warzone, quite honestly.
Yeah, that'd be cool. They kind of do, but you kind of like it's weird when you have to like X. You press start, press X in the game to look at it in game.
Yeah.
I don't know how you look at it outside of the game, like in the menus.
You think now that Warzone has introduced like these horror franchise characters, they'll do like more stuff with that?
We talked
about movie characters.
Yeah, we talked about that a few weeks ago. I don't know. I would like that. I thought
I would hope that they will.
Yeah, it's a big deal that they brought in the Saw guy and
that's the first time they've done that, right?
Yeah.
Leatherface.
Mm-hmm. And it would be cool if they could get a Punisher or
like
some
rated R
characters. Bigger adult themed characters that people know about would be really, really sick. But Marvel's never
like
gonna
Johnny
play nice with
Sins.
them. Johnny.
Yeah, you're not gonna see like Spider-Man screaming
Yeah, I mean John Wick.
Yeah.
John Wick would be
that
cool.
Makes
like
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, what if they put like John McClane in there? From Die Hard. Like
true.
Like
Ethan Hunt
like
from Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Oh
like
my
a
God.
lot of the big action movies.
Yeah, like trails are just it's gonna be Tom Cruise, the whole thing.
That'd be cool. I don't know if they make that type of money,
No,
they're not making Fortnite money.
I think they're making
they're making a ton of money. They said how much on like the investor call recently,
stupid.
and it was insane how much money they made off of like Warzone. But also they have the top 2 selling games by MPD in 2020. So there's that.
The thing with Warzone is they sell you the battle pass, and then you can just buy packs free of will any time as well. So like they're doubling effectively the money that someone might spend.
Yeah. And honestly, going forward, and we've way veered off track now. I don't even know where we are, but like looking at the battle pass over the past couple seasons, I might not even buy it next season, depending on what's on it.
The battle pass
because I never use anything that's on it. I only use the dope skin I bought from the store, and Mike just got a super dope skin in the store too. And like it's always the cool stuff they're saving for those individual packs, and the battle pass is kind of lame. So we'll see. Yeah, going forward, I think I might. I don't know how many COD points or COD bucks I have saved up over the course of the battle pass this year. I definitely haven't maxed it, but I might just look at it before I just insta buy it like I did, over the past couple seasons, and just see what's on it, because it's honestly a waste of $10 when I could spend that $10 on a dope skin in the store. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
the skins and the operator packs are like so much better, I feel, than what you get in the battle pass for sure.
Like I shouldn't have bought this battle pass. Yeah, it didn't really seem too interesting. You got what's her face from the story mode, and the other guy, Farah, yeah, and the other guy, Nikolai, right?
Yeah, Nikolai.
Yeah.
My thing is, part of the reason I do it though, Kevin, is that I can skip 25 battle pass levels and get whatever the new gun is. But this time there's gonna be like 40 new guns at the same time, so it doesn't matter as much to me, I think.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you get it. We're getting a lot. Yeah. But yeah,
they're adding like 2 mid-season guns this time and 2 with the battle pass. So
yeah, it's cool. Yeah, the Master Chief in Fortnite, pretty cool. Pretty cool, dude. Can't wait to see what Nintendo puts in there.
Kevin, I cannot remember the name of the game you wanted to talk about. I just wrote Taikondagogas.
Give me a second. I exit out of it. Taiko no Tatsujin Drum and Fun on Nintendo Switch.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Would you like to tell us about that?
It's a fun, like, man, I don't know. I've been looking at this like drum thing for a long time. I've been meaning to buy it because I don't know if you guys ever had this. I don't know if you have an arcade in your area, but there's a Japanese game. If you go to the arcade, sometimes you'll see it there. It's like a big ass drum. I don't know if you guys ever seen it. Yeah, it's like one of those drums, but they made a like console version of it, and it's just you're just beating up. It's a rhythm game pretty much. You're beating to the beat of the drum onto the drum. But I don't have a drum set. So
like Donkey Kong bongos or whatever that game's
it's
called.
kind of that size, but it's like it's smaller. It's like an actual like it looks like a drum, but it's like a plastic drum. You know, you hit on it with the sticks. But I don't have that. I use the controller for it, and it's really fun. And it has like I bought all the anime like music to it. So I got all the anime music on the game, and I played through that.
Famous anime music?
It's like the like anime shows, like openings, stuff like that type of music.
Okay.
So it's really cool, like planning to like a lot of these openings, and it's so I don't know, I just have a lot of fun with it. And it's like, man, how much is it? I think it was like $50 or something like that. And I had to buy the DLC to get more of the anime music, so it's a bit more to it, but it's fun.
Gotcha. That's cool.
I like that's a little.
So it's just like a rhythm game, basically.
How do you spell it?
Taiko, Taiko, then space.
Oh, it's like a taiko drum.
Yeah, taiko drum. Yeah. Oh yeah, you seen him?
Yeah, I know what taiko drums are.
Oh, okay. Cool,
He's a big drummer boy. You're a little
drummer.
Oh,
you're right.
He's a big drummer
boy. He drums. Look how you drum.
Taiko no Tatsujin.
Yeah. Drumming and fun. Yeah.
There's a lot of these on the eShop.
I think there's like 3 of them. One is like there's like an adventure mode to it.
A rhythmic adventure pack.
Yeah, and then there's a one that's just like you just play the rhythm game. It has like a lot of songs to it.
While you're talking about this anime stuff, I am going to fix my camera. Give me 2 secs.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
But yeah, you saw it. Yeah, it's what you know what taiko drums are.
Yes, they're big drums.
They hit
it with sticks. Yeah.
It's like that. They have a game for that in arcade. Sometimes you see them, and like that's what it is pretty much. But like they made a Switch version of it, and I was really thinking of getting the taiko drum set. I was really thinking about it, but it's like $70. I don't know. Yeah. There's better versions of it too. So
weird peripherals.
Yeah, it just looks cool. I just want to like it's like I want to go back into like Rock Band, that type of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And play some.
We'll see Rock Band or something like that for Series X and PS5. Do you think we'll see anything like that ever again?
I wish.
I don't know, man. Maybe.
I really wish because I do want to go back and play Rock Band, but like I needed the adapter to use my old guitar for the Xbox One, and then now I looked around trying to look for Xbox One version guitars, but they cost a lot because they don't sell anymore.
Honestly, I feel like at this point, if they were to do it, it would have to be a total like
overhaul.
Hey, yeah, like they can't let people use that old stuff anymore. We have to later, Mike. We have to. Hey, Mike. We have to edge that out. You know what I mean? We have to phase that. We have to get away from that because it's so old. like a lot of that stuff is so old. If they were like, hey, everything works, I would go find my Guitar Hero 2 guitar. But like, I would rather them just sell it in a new, brand new peripherals or peripherals, however you
Yeah.
say it, and go like it, and just focus on making the game as good as it could be. Because I think that was where Rock Band 4 and Rock Band 3 sort of stumbled a little bit. Was you can use the old stuff, but there's this adapter and it might not work as well as the new stuff, and you're missing out on some features, blah 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 blah. I think if they really just focused on making something brand new with brand new equipment, they could do
I
something really
also
cool. But again, you're no matter what you do, you're gonna piss people off. So I mean,
yeah,
that's
true.
just the way it is, especially with those games. And it's like, honestly, who still has their old stuff? Do any of y'all still have it?
Hey, I have
I
my
do not.
guitars.
All of them?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I still have them.
Man, I don't.
I had
I
it for the
don't.
Wii,
So
so
the,
I
I
got rid of
have
it.
one of the 2 games I have on disc for Xbox is Guitar Hero Live, because y'all remember Guitar Hero Live?
yeah.
It had two rows of 3 instead
Yeah.
of just 1 row of 5.
Oh,
And
really?
I got it when it came out, and it was super fun, and I played it for a while, and then I don't know where the guitar is anymore. I have no idea. I still have the disc. The
Damn.
guitar's probably somewhere off in an old apartment or house I used to live in. I don't know.
I do wonder if like bringing back the Rock Band or Guitar Hero name would cause like a significant increase in price for the music licensing than if it, like Fuser obviously like did it, but like that's a brand new IP, so they don't know how well it's gonna sell.
Well, the
And
thing,
like people aren't aware of it, but like, every record executive's probably heard of like Rock Band and stuff. So maybe the music licensing prices would go way up.
I don't know how they work because they said when you had Rock Band 4, you were able to bring all the music you bought in the other rock bands to Rock Band 4. So I don't know how that worked out, like music
They
licensing.
would have had to make a deal with them, like the record companies, to allow
Yeah,
that,
I
I
think
think.
these licenses just last a certain amount of years, and then after that's up, it's gone.
The gap between Rock
The
Band
retail.
3 and 4 was huge, wasn't it? That's why I was wondering. I was like, how did they got to do that? It was interesting.
I do not recall.
Rock Band 3 is when they started adding weird shit, and then like piano.
Yeah.
And then when Rock Band 4 came out, they sort of took it back to like, the basic 4 instruments. Rock Band 3 was like,
Yeah.
that was a 360 game.
Yeah. That's towards the end of it, I
And
think, right?
yeah, towards the end of that generation. And then Rock Band 4 was the only one on the one in the PS4. So I imagine we'll see something this generation. I think if I'm them, I'm sitting there like, we should have this ready for when people come out of COVID. Like,
Yep.
when people are ready to go and hang out at their friend's house again, we should have something ready to go for them, like this brand. Within what's better than a brand new Rock Band? I mean, honestly, I loved playing Rock Band. I will do anything but sing. That's the deal.
Yeah.
You know.
I would always just try and match the pitch and not even sing the words.
Yeah. Anytime I had to sing, I would just hum and just try to match the pitch. But it's always really funny because your voice would come out of the TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so like
Yeah.
you would just be humming through the TV over everybody else, and it'd be super obnoxious. But yeah, like preferably I'd play drums or bass or guitar, but I'll do whatever. I think we'll see something like that again.
There was an easy way
That'd be
to
cool.
cheat the music part. Because I think if you had it like at easy and have your mics really sensitive, you could just put it up to the speaker and it would just catch it.
Yeah.
And you would do it. It would like not. You would not miss a beat on the singing part.
That's really funny.
Oh, you cheated on Rock Band? Wow.
I mean, only for the singing though. All right. Other than that, I was really rocking out my guitar, drums. God, I missed the drums. I think that's why I got Taiko because I really wanted to play drums again. And Taiko, it's pretty much the same
The
thing.
drums on Rock Band were good. So it was like, yeah, that was a good addition for sure.
They were good. I never got was it Guitar Hero drums?
Guitar Hero World Tour.
Yeah, what did they have? They had a different set of buttons. Like
No, it was I think it was 3 pads and 2 cymbals.
Symbols, that's what it was. Yeah.
And a kick drum. But I only played that one maybe once or twice. I never really went into that one seriously like I did with Rock Band. Rock Band 1, God, I would sit in my room and just pound those little plastic drums for hours and hours and hours.
I'm glad you said plastic drums after that sentence.
Yeah.
Enzo.
Enzo. Yeah, that's what I've been playing. I like that. I think I might get the drum controller. I'm thinking about it. It's $70.
Mm.
That or there might be better versions of it. I don't know. We'll see how far I get into this game. But I've been playing it like every night before I go to bed. It's fun.
Nice. All right. Washburn wanted to talk a little bit about having his race traced in Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, it's not much. Just a quick shout out to the Miles Morales new performance ray tracing mode. I was just doing that for about an hour, a little over an hour before we came on, and it looks great. It's still not. It doesn't have the visual fidelity of fidelity mode quite, but it does have ray tracing. There are reflections, and it's pretty good, and it runs at 60 frames. So I just wanted to shout that out and say why can't more developers target 1440? You know what I mean? Like it's such a because that's all they did. I mean, like if you look at the new performance ray tracing mode or whatever, they're able to do that because they put it at 1440. So
yeah,
I know a lot of people are gonna sit there and play. Oh, I want 4K. You know, I'm playing on my TV. But there are a lot of people like me who are just playing on a 1440p monitor either way. And if more developers could take advantage of that resolution, I feel like we could get better looking and better performing stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome for sure. I think it is finding that balance between like frame rate and fidelity, right? Because it's most games, it's like either or. You have to make the choice. Do you want better graphics or you want the game to run smoothly? And it's like I kind of want both. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, really, the
Main
only
option for
example,
both.
even now, the only example of it I've seen that's flawless is Destiny 2. The optimization of Destiny 2 is flawless. Like it's running. Apparently, it's at 4K and it's just running at 60 frames, and it looks incredible. You know what
Yeah,
I
it
mean?
looks really
It
good.
really does, and so we'll see if I mean, obviously they're able to do that because they've had the PC version out for so long, and I imagine it was a little bit easier for them to optimize it for hardware that can now keep up. But I mean, I wish more developers would target that 1440p resolution and make sure that that's part of their game plan going into things because it matters. Like there's so many people like me that are just on 1440p monitors, dude.
Yeah. Even like if it was 1440, but it just upscales to 4K, it's gonna look better than just what the 1080p mode is. So,
yeah, and so like whenever y'all want to talk about Cyberpunk, we'll talk about resolution and stuff too, because resolution's just like it's all over the place right now with these next gen consoles. There's a lot to dive into with that.
Before we get to that, let's just see how Fox to the Future is enjoying Assassin's Creed.
oh, I'm not actually that far into it because I kind of just abandoned it for Cyberpunk, but it's
Yeah,
good. I mean, I will say I do agree with Washburn on a lot of the points that he made. Is combat is kind of annoying sometimes. The world is not super inspiring compared to these grandiose like locations like Egypt or Rome or whatever. Maybe that's just me because I'm from the UK, but like it's just I'm not interested in that at all. Yeah, exactly.
Feels samey across the map.
I mean we talked about it, and I've talked about this at length too, but like it's a little bit boring, but the further you get into it, you start to really appreciate it. And there are times in that game when I just had to stop and go immediately into photo mode because like you'll you'll come over a hill, like a crest of a hill, and it's just this postcard that like is ridiculous, honestly. Sort of absurd to see at that performance on a Series X. Like, is that game can be absolutely stunning. But yeah, a lot of it is like Fox is saying, it's just green fields, you know.
Mm. The
Sure.
gameplay as well. I think. I mean, I'm someone that's played basically every Assassin's Creed game. And Origins, when it came out, was obviously a breath of fresh air. It was completely different to anything else. Then you get to next one, and it's like, okay, this is kind of the same, but a little bit different. Then you get to Valhalla, and it's like, I don't know about some of these mechanics anymore. They're kind of growing old.
Yeah, it's just like I go back to the same thing every time we talk about this game, where it's just the more you play it, the more you like it. And by 25 hours, I was super enjoying it. But that's an argument that we've been over a whole lot. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
it's not
Did
worth
you guys play a
retreading.
lot of the previous two Assassin's Creeds?
I played about 70 hours of Odyssey.
Same.
And just felt like I had barely scratched the surface and gave up.
Same.
Yeah, that's exactly where I am as well.
And Origins, I played probably about 5 hours of. But by the time I went back and played Origins, Odyssey was already out.
Yeah, so
So
it's tough to go back when you've.
Yeah, right. And so it's just like, oh, I see what they're doing. This is kind of cool, and this is where like it really started,
Yeah.
with this style of gameplay. But if I'm gonna play this, I might as well play the new hotness.
I sometimes feel like with Assassin's Creed, I'm opposite of people because I almost finished Origins. I kind of done like everything there was to do in the story, a lot of the side quests. I loved that game and the location and everything about it. And I feel like a lot of people are the opposite, where they played so much of Odyssey, maybe missed out on Origins or played a little bit of it, like you said. And this is coming into Valhalla. It's their second go at this kind of Assassin's Creed, and it's more fresh. To me, it's still cool, but I'm kind of wanting that old Assassin's Creed back. That like set in Rome. Give me those cool characters from history that we know. Set it in the Brotherhood, not just some random person who joins the Brotherhood or gets given Hidden Blade or whatever it is. I kind of want it to be Assassin's Creed again, and it just feels like it's an open world game that has some Assassin's Creed elements now and then.
Yeah, I get that. I don't know how you go back to that from where you are now. I would rather them evolve it into sort of a I don't want to say stepping backwards, but like evolving it forwards, but maybe having some of those familiar elements from the first, handful of titles there. I liked the old Assassin's Creed games. I went back and played 2 earlier this year. I mean, for me, those games don't age well. Everything's easy. You know what I mean? When like in the combat in those games, you can just counter everything. I don't.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't.
and it's like one hit kill. It's kind of
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just like for me, it's just like I kind of like the little bit more of a challenge, like it is now. But yeah, the characters are way better. I mean, in 2, you get hit with like Leonardo da Vinci 10 minutes in, and it's just like, oh, that's pretty interesting. Like, let's see where this goes. And in this one, I know they're yelling in Valhalla. They're yelling a lot of names at me that I somewhat recognize. But to really know what that person did, I'd have to go and Google it. It's not like an instantly recognizable name like Leonardo
Go into the dumb laptop and read all the stupid emails.
Right.
There are hundreds and hundreds of. Like, come on, no one's doing that. I mean, I agree though. Like, take the best. What I would do is take the best bits of all these new Assassin's Creed games, right? Like the combat, the open world,
climbing.
Yeah, all of that stuff.
The climbing so much.
Just put it in a world and set it around characters that are just more interesting. Like, let's go back to Rome and do it now that we have these incredible like 4K graphics, open world, all this stuff. Let me see a version of Rome that is as expensive as the worlds we have now, it's within that Assassin's Creed 2 kind of setting.
Mhm.
That's what I would want to see, at least.
It would be cool. It's interesting with video games because the technology advances so quickly. So it's like, oh, if this game had come out now, like imagine how like detailed and insane it would be.
Yeah, a lot of it is
Instead
that
of
I think just like
Xbox
thinking
360
about,
generation.
yeah, you think about these old games that you have such nostalgia for, and you want them to live up to the games that you're playing right now, and obviously they don't. But like, it'd be cool to see something like that.
Yeah, for sure. Before we get to Cyberpunk, do you guys want to touch on Blankos real quick?
Was this a game you guys played last night?
Blankos, dude.
Yeah.
It looked a lot of fun, I've got to say. It did look fun.
The races
Washburn
were
clearly
fun.
didn't have fun.
Those races were fun.
For me, here's the deal, and I'm just gonna say this in one sentence and be done. The races are a worse version of Fall Guys.
True.
The shooters are a worse version of every other third-person shooter available right now. That's it.
Fair enough. Kevin?
The
Do you
races
have
were
your
the only
one sentence review?
the races were the only fun part about that game. Other than that, I didn't like the shooting. It was really weird. The game was dipping a lot of frames for a game that didn't seem like it needed that much to run on. That was interesting.
Yeah, JD mentioned that when he was playing it when we were hanging out on Friday, just in the Discord, and he was like, "Yeah, this I need to turn these settings down," and I was like, "That's never a good sign."
Yeah, I had it all the way to
For
low,
a
and I
game
was
that has simple graphics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
JD has a beast. Like
Yeah,
it,
he has a
like
very
his
nice computer.
his computer is top of the line. Like the only
Yeah,
thing
he's a 2080 Ti.
he's got a 2080 Ti. So
Jesus.
like, I mean, I don't even know what that's like compared to a 3080. I think they're probably comparable. The 3080 is a little bit better, I think. Right?
No, 30 is way better. I think it's almost
yeah.
close to 360.
3060.
3060, yeah.
A 3060 is like a 2080
Yeah.
Ti.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
The jump in
Yeah,
technology was kind of dramatic with
that is dramatic. Well, especially when you consider the price points. But like either way, yeah, like 2080 Ti is still a beast of a card. And so when JD like plays a game that looks like Blancos and he's like, "Oh no, I've got to lower the settings," it's like, "Oh, that doesn't bode well."
All right, well then let's get to the main subject here. Cyberpunk. I have played probably like 4 or 5 hours, I guess. I don't know, maybe 6. Who knows? Something like that. I did the first couple of missions. Washburn and I are at about the same point where the next mission is to go to the Afterlife bar. And I've refused to go to the Afterlife bar and just done random side missions and
yeah. What I would say with that is
stop crimes and stuff.
Just go. Have you guys got to the title screen yet? No.
No.
Oh, yeah, just do Afterlife. It doesn't really matter. Just get past that point, and then the game kind of opens up more. I'd say in terms.
When
of
do I
quests.
get back to Judy? Because for me, that's the only thing that matters. Is Judy?
Who's Judy?
Judy's the
girl at the bar at the very beginning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen her. To be honest, I'm not sure.
So, yeah, I'm where Maddock is, and I have issues with this game. Major issues that all revolve around the visuals of it on the Series X. Everything else I totally vibe with. So let's start with the things I love. I love the voice acting. It's phenomenal. Every character is phenomenal so far. Just from a performance standpoint. And I love the dialogue sequences. And it's that classic CD Projekt Red dialogue that if you've played Witcher 3, where it's just you could listen to these two people talk forever and never get bored. You know what I mean? And it's got that. It really does. There's a sequence. I was talking about Judy, but like even just that whole brain dance sequence where you find this girl named Evelyn, and you meet her in this, I guess, strip club sort of place, and she comes in the room, and this is all one take because it's first person, which is a whole nother thing that makes this insane. She comes in the room, she stands in the doorway, she talks to you, you have this back and forth for like 5 minutes. She comes, sits down on the couch, you're still talking, she's like, all right, well, let's go. You get up, you start walking down this hallway, the conversation's still going, and it's like this super interesting conversation. She goes down the stairs, she hits a door, she's like, all right, let me unlock this door. While she's doing that, you have more dialogue options, you're throwing it back and forth with her. She gets to the door where Judy is, she turns around and looks at you, and then you talk even more, and it's like you had this incredibly written and performed dialogue sequence that's on the move, which is amazing. Like if you think about that from just like a gameplay standpoint, that I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen anything like that, and that's why I'm still playing this game. But
It
is
definitely
stuff
has
like
that
that.
like fellas walking through the bar kind of scene vibe. That iconic scene that everyone's talks about. It's kind of like that. It is just so captivating at points.
Yeah, it is. It's extremely captivating because the dialogue is so well performed. Like I need to go and find like clips of them in the booth for this game because every actor is just like hitting on all cylinders. Every line of dialogue is good. Every single one. I haven't met a single character that I don't just love, which is awesome.
Yeah, no,
So
Reeves. No, just kidding.
yeah, no, I haven't met
I
him
haven't
yet.
either.
No.
So
It's funny that you're talking about this because like all these characters are so well written and so well performed. Keanu Reeves is there, and you kind of like want to talk to other people.
that's what
It's
all the
crazy.
reviews said too. Yeah, all the reviews said like he's the worst performer in the game. He's just Keanu Reeves. But but honestly, dude,
Jackie's
like,
great. I love Jackie.
yeah, Jackie's amazing. Dex was incredible, like, just top tier stuff. And even Regina, who calls me on the phone everywhere I go, and I gotta go kill this cyber psycho or find this wanted person, and Regina calls me on the phone. I'm like, oh, what's up, Regina? Like, yeah, let's talk. Like, this is dope. You know what I mean? Because every single voice actor is just so good, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh, man, I'm so excited for you guys to get past the title screen. Like,
yeah,
can't wait to
and
rewatch
really
it.
just like these dialogue sequences where you're on the move are mind blowing. Like seriously, for me, it's incredible. Like that kind of stuff is just out of this world good. But this, it's all made worse by crappy visuals on the Series X, and that's super unfortunate because everything is fuzzy, everything is blurry,
hazy,
and it's just flat.
The lighting isn't that great too.
No, the lighting is off, the textures are flat, and everything just has this thin layer of fuzz and blur. And I've gone in, I've turned off film grain, I've turned
it's
off
like you
depth of
literally
field.
think the HDR settings are just broken, and then you go in and you're like, oh no, they're fine.
Yeah.
What is going on?
So none of the and people are on the internet will turn off all this post processing stuff. I've done that. Like I've turned all that off, and it's still just fuzzy. And that's because I'm playing the Xbox One version of the game. It looks like Battlefield 4, Kevin.
Yeah.
It's blurry, dude. Everything is just not as crystal clear and sharp as I want it to be. And every time I turn a corner, I think to myself, God, I wish that looked better. You know what I mean?
I'm playing on PC on an RTX 2060, and my experience is mostly like yours. If you go to the NVIDIA website, it has like suggested things for like whichever graphics card you have, and it's like, oh yeah, you can run this on high. And I'm like, on what earth can I run this on high? If I want to play this game in like 40, 50 frames a second, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
and no one wants to do that.
Yeah, so let's talk about that on the Series X too, because there's performance mode and quality mode. I can't play it in quality mode. I just can't. I can't. I can't do 30 frames anymore. We're past that. And even going back and forth looking at them, it's negligible. like the difference in the fidelity is so negligible between those two modes. Performance is pretty steady. I would say it does dip into the low 50s from in busy areas for sure. It's mostly locked at 60. Now, last night, so we've talked about how my Xbox is set up. I'm on 1440p. That's just how it is. 1440 120. And last night I was so frustrated, like coming off a stream. All I could think about when we were playing Call of Duty was Cyberpunk. It was all I could think about, and I just want the visuals to look better so bad because I think this game is so freaking incredible, dude.
It's so good.
And so I went into my Xbox settings. I allowed 4K and I turned it on 4K 60 just to see. And it didn't make a difference. It just didn't.
Wow.
So it's the last gen version of the game.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been saying to people. It looks like what it is. It's an Xbox One game that you're playing through backwards compatibility. And until we get that proper optimization, it's going to look like that. And the more I play it, the more I can probably ignore it because everything outside of the visuals is incredible. I really do think that there's bugs, and I have a funny bug I ran into today. I've ran into a handful of bugs. But man, the dialogue in just the performances in this game so far are ridiculous. We're like truly, truly some of the best I've ever seen. Like I just it's crazy good. I just wish it looked sharper.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I've been playing on Series X. I have a 40-inch 4K TV in my bedroom, so that's a 4K 60 mode. And you're right, it just does not look good at all. Like no matter how many settings you change, no matter what you do, it's just always flat. It's always hazy. It just doesn't look right at all. And there isn't even a day one patch. Never mind optimization. Just tells you how far back this game really is in development. Like this should have been a 2021 game for sure. And somewhere, somehow along the line, somebody said, "Nope, putting my foot down. This has to be a 2020 game." End of story.
Yeah. Shareholders.
And, they just had to deal with it. That was it.
Yeah.
So,
They
like,
had
I
to
feel
get
for
this
the
out.
developers for sure.
And they're going to get their bonus, and they're going to be fine. And that's all well and good. But they had to get this out before Christmas, dude. They had to.
Think
They,
so?
yeah. I mean, I guarantee you that's what it was.
Yeah.
This game had to come out before the holidays, before the end of the year, for stock reasons, for money reasons.
Yeah.
It just had to happen. And
it definitely feels like that is the reason. Just like their 2020 earnings just had to line up, and that was it.
Mm-hmm. And there's an incredible game in here. Like,
yeah,
and
sure.
I come off negative, but I love the game itself. I just think the visuals are so lackluster and unfortunate because what's behind those is a 10 in my opinion. Like so far, it's the wonky driving controls, fine, whatever. I can get used to that. The weird shooting, fine, whatever. The complicated inventory that I'm still getting used to, I can get used to all that. I had to do all that with Witcher 3. The first time I played Witcher 3, I fucking like the first time I played Witcher 3, I fucking hated it. And the next time I played it, I was like, "Oh, I love this now because I understand it." And that's what this game is. It feels like I'm learning The Witcher 3 again. It really does. When I go into these inventory systems and I look at the skill trees and I start disassembling stuff for crafting components and I'm picking up blueprints, it's just like, oh, this is so comfortable because this is the CDPR like RPG stuff that I'm so used to and that I love so much. And it's got this sort of fresh coat of paint on it that's hidden behind these blurry visuals. And so it's so complicated, dude. Like it's like I'm so conflicted with this game because I want to wait. But I can't I can't wait
you
because
just
like
can't
it keeps
exactly.
pulling me back in. Every time I'm not playing it,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it. Every single time I'm not playing it, I'm
Yeah.
thinking about it because it's so good. It really is. And it sucks so bad that the visuals are where they are.
The shooting controls on keyboard and mouse feel very good to me. I feel
Really?
like, yeah, I feel like it feels decent. I don't know what the deal is with like the controller settings that they have in there, but the keyboard
It's
and mouse shooting feels decent. It's like as good as any other first person shooter that's not Call of Duty.
yeah. See, I don't think the
The only
shooting
weird
is.
thing,
Huh?
the only weird thing is the dodging, because like
Oh God,
double
yeah.
tapping, like double tapping like A to like move over.
Mm.
It's like something you do accidentally a lot of the time, I guess.
And it's not even like a solid animation. It just kind of warps you to the sides.
Yeah,
It's super
it's kind
weird.
of weird.
Yeah, but I don't think on controller. I mean, the shooting feels, as Washburn said, it's manageable. Like you get used to it and you
Fine.
kind of learn to like it. Yeah, but to me, the biggest problem is just the way movement and the camera feel. There's no synergy between them at all. It feels like my movement speed is completely off to what the camera speed is. And you can change the settings for sure and make it feel a little bit better, but it never feels right. It never feels like, I don't know. If to me, the closest thing I can think about this game, because I'm not a CG Project Red guy at all. I hated The Witcher 3. I could never get into it, no matter how many times I tried. But to me, this game reminds me a lot of The Outer Worlds. In the way that the world is, the way that you move through it, talk to characters, all that kind of stuff. Just like you said, so much better written, better characters, all that stuff. And then it's just an amalgamation of all these different types of games. You've got some Fallout in there for sure. You've got all these kind of RPG tropes. You've even got like things from Batman Origins, like the way the dream dance things work.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a lot of these just like little things from all these different games just merged together, which is really cool. I just wish that it felt right to move. That's the only thing I have a major problem with.
I think a
And the
lot
visuals
of
of it.
that, and honest, I get what you're saying. And there's a list of things about this game that I wish were different. Why am I always on fire?
Oh my
Every
god!
time I'm in
Oh my god!
combat, I'm on fire.
All
It's the
on
worst.
I'm
fire.
always on fire in
You have
combat,
to
dude.
kill the person who set you on fire to make you stop going on fire. What the heck is the point in that?
And
So
there's
annoying.
and I'm overheating.
Yep.
Oh,
Because the
constantly.
cameras are looking at you.
And stealth is weird. And
Yeah,
what the
I
hell is
barely
breach?
try stealth.
And so today I felt like for the first like 3 hours I was like, what is this breach protocol bullshit that they want me to do?
Yeah.
And so today I finally just sat and looked at it and went into that skill tree, and now I understand it. And
Have to
it's
learn
the
fucking C++ to understand the hacking.
I mean, it's the hacking's weird. It's weird, man.
Yeah, it is weird.
And there's one time I was in combat, my gun didn't work. It just died. It didn't want to shoot this specific character with this one pistol that I had. But then I whipped out another, and I had ammo in the clip ready to go.
Mhm.
So then I switched to another gun. It worked fine. But I think what Fox is saying is the camera and the movement speed not meshing up well. I think a lot of that can be brought back to the visuals. If it wasn't when you're sleuthing around these dark corridors, dude, it is hard as shit to see.
Oh yeah.
For me. And when you're crouched, it's even harder because you're going in these tight
'cause it makes
spaces.
when you
You can't
crouch,
see
it like
around.
makes the
Yeah.
screen like on the edges get darker so that you know that you're in
Sneak mode.
stealth mode. Yeah.
Yeah, and so there's that, and there's a million icons on your screen at all times. Especially if you're clearing a room, or after you've just cleared a room, there's 50 different things to loot, and they all have an icon.
Yeah. You hold
And
down the scanner, and there's like a million different things in the room that you can scan.
and the way that the security
Yeah.
cameras look is atrocious.
It blends into the
Yeah,
walls
you
like
can't see them
way
at
too
all.
much.
For sure.
Well, no, I'm talking about the 7 or 8 little beams of light that are just
Oh,
coming
yeah.
out of them. for some reason. Like that's the dumbest design decision I've ever seen. Why
It's
can't
literally
it
the
just
only
be
way
a
you can see
cone of
them.
light like every other game ever? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So like, yeah, there's things that bother me a whole lot. I will say, Fox, there's a perk that lets you go 20% faster when you're crouched. Get that immediately.
Yeah, I got that for sure. That one
Yeah, I got
makes it
that
a
one
little
too.
better. Yeah, because at the start, when you have like no perks, no nothing, it really is like bare bones basic.
Yeah.
But once you start getting all these different things that like let you move faster, let you shoot faster, whatever it is, it does start to feel a little better. So that is one thing for sure.
What I'm surprised about is the amount of watchdogs in this game. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
Have y'all done this? Have y'all like, so how are y'all building your characters?
I've leveled up all my stuff to be assault rifle and pistol mostly, and then like a little bit of the other stuff.
Mine's is kind of roughly equal. Like everything is roughly kind of about 6 or so.
Yeah, I'm stacking intelligence and technical knowledge or technical ability. I'm stacking those two, and everything else sucks. And so I am watchdogs like all the time. Like I'm going in and I'm finding a camera. I'm going into it like I do in Watchdogs. I'm looking around, seeing if there's anything I can hack, seeing if there's like an explosive I could set off or distract an enemy. So that stuff is super dope. And like in this first person perspective, it kind of works. It really does. I like the way I'm playing. I like the way I'm building my character. And with the breach protocol thing, I'm now that I know what that is, I'm gonna start dumping so many points into that, dude, because when you do that, you get insane boosts. Like
Really?
Like ridiculous boosts. Like so when you breach protocol, what you do is you have these things called demons, and you breach something. It brings up the little 5x5 with a letter and a number, and it's like this is the sequence you need to do this.
Yeah.
You have to
Never
do it in
tell
the right
you how to
order.
do it at the start of the game, by the way. You just have to figure it out.
Yep.
And so every time in that tree, there's like it unlocks this demon when you breach protocol. It unlocks this one. It unlocks this one. I just got one that shuts off every camera on the network. So when you breach protocols, so like when you breach protocol something, you are going into the network of that area. And you can do it, and it gives you these incredible boosts. And so like there's another one in that tree where if you breach protocol something, any enemy with like cybernetic implants, which is everyone, will do 30% less damage like on the network, which is like that's crazy. So like I'm gonna start just dumping so many points into that tree and just being a cyber like ninja, because I like the stealth. I want to be stealthy. I want to get in, get out, and never be seen. Like that's my goal, because the gunplay is what it is. I think it's fine. I would rather avoid it and just like be a ghost. Become.
You guys got tech weapons yet?
I don't understand them. I have a shotgun that shoots these bluish looking slugs. I don't know what they do.
Yeah, so tech weapons are kind of maybe the most interesting thing about the gunplay in the game, because it really does change up how you shoot. You're not just unloading clips into people and watching their numbers go down or whatever. You've got different things where, like, if you hold, say you've got like you said, you've got a shotgun that shoots out blue things, might be like electrical energy, right? So you hold down RT for certain periods of time, and then it changes that into electric shotgun pellets or whatever. Then you can take down like cybernetic enemies with that. It'll give them like an EMP blast. And then you're really kind of digging into their health bar. Like you're not just shooting at them constantly. It's more tactical. So I would say try that. It makes it a lot more interesting for sure.
Yeah, and this is the stuff I love. Like, I want to get to Kevin because I don't think he's played as much as we have. But like, the conversations we're having right now are the conversations I love about these big RPGs, especially like this one where you can build your character so many different ways. And so like me being or trying to be a cyber ghost where I can sort of hack everything, get in, get out, never be seen. Like that's such a different experience compared to like what Maddock is having with where he's throwing his points into like assault and shotgun and stuff. So yeah, I mean, God, I just wish this game looked better. Yeah, because it's so good, dude.
Yeah,
For sure.
grabs you for
Kevin,
sure.
how much have you played, Kevin?
I don't know. Like maybe I'm about like an hour in, dude. You guys have played so much. I'm like, I'm listening to you guys talk about it. I was like, man, this game seems pretty fun. And I'll go back to like what Washburn talked about is about like the visuals. I'm like, man, it's just like looking at this game sometimes. I'm just like, it doesn't really like. I don't like looking at it too long because it doesn't look too cool. Like I would
No,
think it would.
Yeah,
It's not
it looks
it makes you
raw.
feel like your eyes are going
yeah.
blurry. It literally does.
Yeah, like when you compare to the PC version, but and then again, I know PC version has like maybe if you have a high end, graphics card, you can
If you have an
play.
RTX 30 series.
Yeah. But I mean, technically, this game is supposed to like it can handle ray tracing and stuff like that. I know if
Yeah, my RTX 2060 suggests turning ray tracing off, so I don't know what that's about. It's like, why do I have a
I
ray
hope the
tracing card
Xbox
if you're gonna
version
suggest I
gets
turn it off?
yeah, I don't know because it doesn't
Exactly.
seem like that meaty of a game to like have some of the like improved visuals like you would think some PC versions have it. I wanted to look at least good at most.
Yeah,
Because I go back to like I made a comparison. I don't know if this is the right good comparison because the game is buggy, and a game I compared it to was Jedi Fallen Order when that came out, and it was really buggy too. But at least with that game looked good. When I look at Cyberpunk, it has bugs, but this game looks okay at most, in my opinion.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm like, I don't really,
Yes.
I don't know. I don't really like. It doesn't really like satisfy me when I look at it and play with it. When I play
Yeah,
with it, like
and
gameplay wise, it does feel good, but like yeah, looking at it doesn't really. I don't like
You
it too
never
I
want
much.
to be
think you just
thinking,
nailed it, Kevin. Where it's unsatisfying visually.
Yeah,
yeah,
Like that's the perfect word
It
for
feels
it
like
on
there's
the
a lot of
console.
noise,
yeah,
Yeah, and
visual
even
noise.
yeah, because there's that, and there's all sorts of noise, descriptions from the icons that are popping up to the film grain that you turn off that's still there even if you turn it off.
yeah.
But I think Kevin just nailed it. I think the best word you could use to describe this game visually on a console is unsatisfying. And that is so disappointing, dude. Because the rest of it is so freaking good, man. It really is. Like it's got its hooks in me now that I've played it for about 5 hours, and I'm going to power through because I think it is just one of the coolest things I've ever seen with these dialogue sequences, dude. Like that one dialogue sequence just sold me on the game. It really did. It was just like this is what this is. This is insane. Like I've never seen anything like this before in a video game, and like
It's
it
not the
just
Fallout
doesn't
zoom
look as
in
good.
to the
No, it's
character.
the
It's
opposite of that,
yeah.
dude. It's the antithesis of that. Like it's oh my god, and that's just so crazy to me, dude. Like I can geek out about that for hours and hours, and I will never get tired of it because that is the coolest shit ever.
yeah. It feels like you're
What?
there. You're
Yes.
playing as the guy.
There was
Yeah.
there was a side mission I did where I like sneak into this woman's apartment because she's a corrupt cop or something, and I'm supposed to either murder her or arrest her or something. And you're having a conversation with her, and while you're having the conversation, she goes and grabs her gun and starts
Hmm.
shooting at you.
Oh
Yeah. So
yeah,
like
I've done that one.
that's what makes it cool is because even when you're in these dialogue sequences, shit is still happening all around you, and
Yeah,
like the visual information that you're getting and the visual storytelling that's happening even like from the first person perspective, which is ridiculous, is still just happening while you're throwing dialogue back and forth with these characters that's super interesting and well performed, and it's just ridiculous to even think about, dude. Like I've it just stinks so bad that something I think is one of the craziest, coolest things I've ever seen in a video game is brought down so significantly by its visuals, and that just really sucks.
mm. You think you'll replay it in like say 6 months' time if they patch the visuals, make it better? Do you think you will go back to it,
Yeah,
or at that
yeah.
point is it
I
too
think
late?
I
I
would
mean, I beat
rerun
The
a
Witcher
different
3 3
character.
times. Yeah, like you're talking to a guy who beat The Witcher 3
Do you
3
think most
times.
people will?
So
Like, if most people are
Probably
buying the
not.
game right now, do you think in 6 months' time, most people who played the game who are
no,
unsatisfied will go back?
no, no.
No.
No. I don't think the casual gamer is gonna look at this. The casual gamer doesn't know what the fuck this game is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
I don't know about that. I feel
the
like
only
it's kind of like GTA 5 to me, and like it's in terms of
no.
hype, like it's been around for years and years and years since like what 2012 or something. So
Yep.
I feel
I
like
think
most
people
people
have
know what it
heard
is.
about it, but like GTA is GTA. People know what GTA is.
It was the 5th one.
And this
Yeah.
the reason that people like us are so excited for this game is because of who's making it. Is because of CD Projekt Red. At least for me. And like Witcher 3 is probably my favorite game ever made. I think it's brilliant. Everything about it is brilliant. And that's why I was so excited for this game. And I think there are a ton of people like me who were just so excited for the next thing from this studio. And I think the casual gamer is going to come into this, a brand new IP, without any sort of legacy or anything like that other than a tabletop board game. They're going to look at it and they're either going to love it or they're going to say, "Oh, this looks like shit. I'll go play Assassin's Creed." You know what I mean? And they're not going to come back to it because they don't
That's fair.
understand optimization. They don't understand that the casual gamer doesn't understand that they're playing an Xbox One game on a Series X. That's what's
Because it
crazy
doesn't
about
really
this.
tell you that, does it? It's just Cyberpunk.
No.
That's it.
I mean, it does. If you have other like Series X games, it'll tell you this is a Series X game, and the other one won't have the little badge next to it. So if they don't get it from
Yeah,
that, I'll
you,
be like, I don't know what's wrong with you.
dude.
Then
Like
Yeah, I suppose so.
they're not going to get it from that though. And
Yeah.
even on the PS5, where you don't get that information, where like even for us, people that are tuned in, that shit is hard to find
yeah, on PS5, yeah,
on
for
the
sure,
PlayStation.
yeah.
So people who are playing this on PlayStation, especially, are going to be looking at this like, why does this look like it does when Astrobot looks like it does? When Spider-Man just came out and looks fucking incredible. You know what I mean? And so no, I think casuals who hate this are either going to get a refund or they're just going to put it down and never come back to it
Mm.
because that it is what it is.
I,
Like I don't know.
I did mention it earlier too, like early in the day. I was like, if you Google search refund on Google, or you just put it in, you type in refund, the top two searches is refunding Steam games or and refunding Cyberpunk 2077. So
Wow, really?
yeah, I don't
That's
know what that says, you know.
I mean, part of that's driven by recent search history, so I'm sure a lot of people are searching that more than
Yeah, the subreddit's on
whatever else.
fire too.
Mm.
I don't know if y'all have
Oh,
seen like
Reddit's always on
the
fire.
Cyberpunk game
Have you gone on?
subreddit
Have you
is
ever been on the
fucking
Black?
hilarious.
Have you ever been on the Black Ops subreddit or the Modern Warfare subreddit? Those
Yeah,
are eternally on
yeah.
fire.
It's tough, man, because the game has big significant problems, and I, like outside of the problems I have with it that are minor. Um, the police suck. You know what I mean? Like the that's a big complaint I've seen sort of floating around the internet is the police force is awful. Just the way that they sort of spawn in front of you if you run somebody over. Um, I haven't ran anybody over, so thankfully I haven't had to
I've
So
deal
ran
with
Matt, I
over
that.
was talking
plenty of
about this
people.
earlier. Is that what happens? They just kind of appear?
Yeah, like it doesn't work like it does in GTA. There's no like I don't think there's a wanted system in this game.
There is kind of, if so, like next to the mini map in the top right, there's like little, it's not stars, but it's like whatever the cop badge is in this game, and it like goes like 1 to like 5, and I killed some people that were on. I was going to do a
In the
mission,
way.
and then there was some
Tell
people
about the clip.
next to the mission that were cleaning up. There's like these people cleaning up like radioactive material, and they're like kind of like cops, I guess. And I like started shooting at the other people, but then I had to turn and shoot this man that's in like a radioactive suit cleaning stuff up. And my thing went like skyrocketed on the side to like 4 or 5 instead of 1, which is when you run someone over.
Yeah.
In
I
case you're
haven't
wondering
dealt
what
with that.
happens.
I haven't dealt with that. I think like the big complaints I've seen on the internet that are scary, like, is how lifeless it can feel at times, which is true. Especially if you're driving around the wrong district at night, there's nobody there.
Yeah.
There are no cars, there are no pedestrians. It's just a ghost town in some
Yeah.
areas. And the police, the wanted system, the interactivity with things around the world. You're not just going to come up to a random pedestrian and speak to them. Well, something I thought was really weird at the beginning of the game, that's an example of this, was walking out my apartment for the first time. My next door neighbor had 4 cops outside their door. Did y'all see this?
Yeah.
And they're like, "Open up, we know you're in there." And it's 4 cops just standing outside. They look like they're about to bust in and do like a raid, or that at least you might be able to go up and talk to them because they're raiding your neighbor's apartment. But no, they just fucking stand there and nothing happens.
So they stand there until the side mission stops. So when you get further into the game, you will be able to talk to those cops, and you will be able to get a
That's
side mission from
ridiculous.
that. Yeah.
That's so
So they're gonna
weird.
stand there for hours and hours and hours and days and days and days of in-game time.
Till you get to a certain point in the game. I mean, yeah, I think that's how the
Yeah.
side
Why did
missions
they
work.
pop
Just
though? Then why are they there to begin with? Why didn't they pop in when that
Must just
mission's
be a
supposed to?
bug. It might just be a
Yeah.
bug.
maybe you're at that
It
point,
could
and it's
just
just
yeah, it could just be the game registered them there too early. They weren't supposed to be there yet. Yeah,
yeah.
but
Because
like,
I was going to say, I don't think I had that at the beginning of the game, but like some hours into it, the cops did show up outside the neighbor's apartment. So maybe it is
I've
just
been back to my apartment like once.
I thought coming out of that apartment and sort of going through that area was super cool.
It was, yeah.
And meeting Coach Fred and fighting the robot and him, sitting down on the bench with him and him telling you to go around the city and get into these like racketeering, sort of fights.
I beat one of the fights so far.
Yeah, I did one,
With,
and
against
it was
the twins.
yes,
the
yes,
twins.
that
They're
one,
so
and it was
funny.
The twins,
wild.
that's one person.
Yeah, because like Matt, I had no fucking idea how to get up there, dude. Like the entrance to that little
yeah, it's
area
so weird, right?
was super weird, and it was just like, okay, and so like you finally get there, and it's like, damn, all y'all are climbing up here like this. This is wild.
There is a
so,
lot of different ways to move around the levels I have, or like areas where there are side missions and stuff where you can like climb onto something else, go through the back instead of the front, and like there's different entrances and exits, and it's like pretty impressive in terms of that, at least in my opinion, because it's such a big world, and I'm like
It's weird
going to
because
like
you think
random
the
side
world is
missions.
like, yeah, you think the world would have a lot of verticality to it, but it doesn't really explain that to you at all. Like, there's elevators you can go into sometimes if they work.
If there's a
Like,
side mission down there, usually.
yeah, and
and
like
the go ahead. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
that's and yeah, so you go into an elevator, and sometimes you can go to different floors depending on whereabouts you are in the game. Like, it'll take you to side mission level that you need to be on, or the main mission level, but it only ever gives you 2 options,
Yeah,
which is like the level you're on and the level you're going to. You can't
yeah,
like go anywhere in between.
yeah.
Which is
That's
weird
really
because all
funny.
these, it's like a mega tower in freaking SimCity, Washburn, and you can go to 2 levels in every building.
Yeah.
Like you think that there'd be like a whole like
Well,
one mission where you're just like
it's
doing.
explained. Like that whole thing is explained because when you get into an elevator, it scans you.
Oh, sure.
And so like I know this is so stupid, but like this is just my narrative, bubbles popping off. But like when you get into an elevator, it scans you. It does.
Yeah.
And what I imagine is the elevator says, okay, this person can only go here. Like, we're not even going to
Yeah.
fucking let this person get off on floor 42 when they don't live there. They have no reason to be there. And so that's the narrative explanation for it.
I
That's
want a
never
mission like the
outright
raid.
said.
Has anyone ever seen the raid?
You got
Oh
every
my God,
level of the
yeah.
building.
Like,
Dude,
Where you just fight up the levels of the building.
that'd be
in
cool.
Dread 3D.
Yeah.
It'd be very cool.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I could just talk about this game forever, and I've already played 5 hours. I've only played 5 hours, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like man, it's got it, dude. I'm vibing with everything in this game except the visuals, and that's unfortunately one of the biggest three factors of a game. When I look at a game, I look at visuals, sound, and performance.
Yeah.
And by performance, I mean dialogues, narrative, right? Visual, sound, narrative is probably a better way to put it. But like the audio and the narrative are absolutely on fire. Like some of the coolest, most interesting things I've ever seen, and the visuals are just atrocious. And so it takes it down a significant amount, especially coming
some
off
of
of
the
something.
music.
I was just going to say, especially coming off of something like Destiny 2, that's
Yeah.
just optimized and is insane with the visuals. To come out of that and then to come to this is it's disappointing.
Some of the womp womp music in this game is like for me personally, like drives me a little bit insane because it's like not good in my brain or for my brain, and I'm just
I love
like,
it.
could we could we stop? But like when the soundtrack is playing, when you're just like doing something, it's super good.
Yeah. It's the ambient noise. It's like when you're standing outside of a building and there you can tell they're playing their music loud. That's incredible. It sounds incredible. Um, when I went and chased down like this cyber psycho. Um,
There's a lot of
or
those. I
yeah,
think I've chased
earlier,
down like 3 of them
and
already.
he started running, and like this dude, he knew I was after him, and he started running, and as soon as he started running, I got like this sort of drum and bass beat going off, and it was just like, oh fuck, that's hot, like that's really really good shit right there. And so like everything, I think, from an audio and a narrative standpoint is just perfect. It really is. And so when those visuals get cleared up, it feels like I just want to take like a windshield wiper and wipe off the screen. Whenever that
I
happens,
agree.
like I think this game could be one of my favorite games right now because it just is so cool what they're doing with all of
I
these
have a
systems.
for sure. I have
And
a
what's
question
great
for
is
everyone.
things we're talking about can be fixed, right? The bugs can be fixed, the
Yeah.
visuals can be fixed. So like when this game gets to a certain point where it is just working like you want it to work, it's going to be incredible.
I'm waiting for
I
it.
have
Sadly, we're not there.
just a quick question for everyone. What is everyone's life path decision? I went with nomad.
Street Kid.
I went Nomad too.
I went Street Kid. I went Street Kid because
Okay.
I was thinking people would go Nomad or Corpo, and I guess that didn't happen because people were saying, "Oh, I don't want to be Street Kid. I don't want to be the one that everyone chooses." I'm
That's
like,
why I went Street Kid.
that's why I went Street Kid.
I thought everyone was choosing Street Kid or Corpo, and that's why I chose Nomad. The only people that seem to be interested in Nomad are like the people who are like want to see Alana's quest.
The reason
I
I chose Nomad was because the other two seem like, I mean, you get like these backstories with the characters first thing, right? Like it says,
Yeah.
you grow up in the city, you know these people, you will have relationships already. I kind of want, when I'm starting a game, to go in fresh, like my character to be new to the world, to experience it as I'm experiencing it. So that's one of the reasons I think I chose Nomad.
That's a good observation because Street Kid is not that. When you're a street kid, you are known. Like these people know you. When you
Yeah, no
start
one
as
knows you as Nomad.
really, when you
Yeah,
start
basically.
that's super interesting because when you start as a street kid, these people know who you are. They know who the fuck you are. That you're V. Like they know who V
Yeah.
is. And so like you get into the car with this dude Padre. Was his name Padre,
Yeah,
Kevin? They
yeah.
call him Padre.
Yeah.
He called him
And he
something
knows
else.
you.
He knows his real
And
name, and he's like, oh, nobody calls me by my no name
Mhm.
anymore. And people call me Padre now. This and
Yeah,
that,
and
and like,
he's
damn,
like
they go back a long time.
yeah,
Man.
and so like V and
I
this dude
haven't
go
met
back.
Padre for the
And I
record.
understand what Fox is saying about not wanting to be fresh. I totally vibe with that. I also totally vibe with this character has a past and I might not know all about it and I might never know. But it's super cool that like this character that I just jumped into is somewhat established here.
Yeah.
And they make hints about her. I'm female V.
Mm.
And they make hints about her going to Atlanta
Mm-hmm.
and living out in Atlanta for a couple years and coming back and it's just like I wonder if you'll ever learn about that. You might not. And that's fine because that's not what matters now. So I don't know. I'm excited. I heard Corpo was awful. I think it was Wes or Bolin was telling us that Wes tried and hated it.
Oh yeah.
Wes had the worst experience ever when it comes to it running on the Xbox because it would not run on his Xbox and hard crashed it 4 separate times before they just downloaded it on PC instead.
Yeah, and then he
Yeah.
went and played Corpo and just absolutely hated it.
It was like a bunch of
Said it was, like,
cutscenes
super
after a
boring.
cutscene after that, right? That's what he said.
That I might end up loving that because like the reason I love this game for what it is right now is everything that's not the action. You know what I mean? It's like these quiet, somber moments with these characters, dude, are fucking incredible. And it's I've never seen anything like this before, dude. I really haven't. And we all said it before, like the first person perspective is wild. Like let's dial it in on that. That's fucking crazy. When this game was announced that all the cutscenes were in first person, y'all remember that when they were like, all your cutscenes are going to be in first person.
I was like, I don't.
I did not want it. I
yeah,
didn't want it.
same here. I wanted third person.
And now I fucking love it because it's the Fallout dialogue system on the move in the middle of a cutscene, and that's never been done before.
Yeah.
And just the more I see it, the more I'm gonna love it because just that one sequence with Evelyn took my breath away, dude. It really did. It was eye opening.
The only weird thing is like you do all this stuff and there's all these customization options for not even that many customizations options off the bat, I guess, but there's all these clothing options and mostly I'm just basically just like, okay, this gives me more armor, I'll put it on.
Yeah,
It's
and you
what
look
I'm
stupid as
going
shit.
with.
Yeah.
And like it just doesn't matter what you look like.
You look so fucking
You look like
dumb.
a stupid clown.
Yeah.
And it's like whatever.
Yeah, I actually went clothes shopping today because like I was like, God, I look fucking dumb. Like she looks so stupid. She's wearing gym shorts with like Uggs and like a hoodie.
Biker
It's like,
jacket.
why is this the thing that gives me the most armor? This t-shirt over
And that's
that
gonna
t-shirt?
be like that. And it's gonna be like that because that's what the studio does. The Witcher 3 was the same way. If in The Witcher 3, if you wanted to put on the thing that gave you the most armor, you were gonna look really fucking stupid until you got the Witcher gear. And I guarantee you there's some armor sets and blueprints out in this world that look dope. That
I mean, there's
you have
like
to go and find
whole outfits that you can equip, and I assume those are like the
can
money
also
looking
get,
ones.
when you get further into the game, you'll get clothing items that have like runes in them, like so you can apply different perks to them, which is
found some of those. Yep.
Yep.
So that's why I'm enjoying doing these side quests right now is because I'm getting hella rewards. I feel like they're being pretty generous with the payout and the loot that I'm getting.
There's
you
you
just
pick up a gun from every person
everywhere.
you kill, basically.
Actually, yeah.
So I got a pair of purple or like purple tier, I guess is that epic?
I think so.
Boots and they had 2 modification slots in them that really took up the armor. So yeah, I feel like going into this next mission, I'm going to be a little over leveled.
The leveling is weird. Where it says like moderate, high, very high, and it never really changes. So it is hard to tell. Like I am only doing moderate missions. Are you guys doing anything that's like high or above?
No,
Oh,
but
yeah.
moderate is cakewalk.
Danger
I'll tell
level?
you. Yes.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, the missions will be ranked by like danger level, right?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming if it's like a crazy boss you have to fight, it's going to be like very high and it'll be in red or wherever.
Right. And so I went in at Maddock, the twins fight was moderate danger. And it was like the easiest shit ever.
Yeah,
so,
you like block them a few times, punch them a bunch. And
yeah. And so I'm wondering if I could try going for some of these high or very high. Maybe just drive over there, do a save before, and see what it is. I probably will do that. But yeah,
All right, before we go, that was a lot of Cyberpunk talk. I enjoyed it. We're enjoying the game so far. But let's look to the future. And in the future, there is but one thing. Washburn. What is
It's
that
the
thing?
only thing that matters. Mass Effect.
Oh.
Oh my god, dude! I've watched that trailer so many times. I watched it again today so many times.
So good.
Oh, it just gets me, dude.
Who would have thought that you would see new Mass
Liara
Effect trailer before we
motherfucking
even see the
Sony,
fucking
dude. Are you
remaster? What is going
kidding me,
on?
dude?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is crazy. I thought yeah, like when they flash Mass Effect, you just assume like, oh, it'll be a trailer for the remaster, not for like a new game.
Crazy.
yeah, it's wild and it's a great trailer, man. It
Yeah.
really is. It's just it's a simple trailer, but God, for a fan, it's effective. It's so
Yeah,
effective because they're doing this zoom out and you hear some dialogue and you think, could it be? Like, there's no fucking way. And then you see the mass relay and you hear the Reaper and you're just like, no fucking way, dude. And then you get
that music.
the splash with the the horizon of the planet, going down the screen like every other fucking Mass Effect game. And it's just like, oh, dude, they're doing it, dude. They know
They're doing
exactly what I want.
Yeah.
They're hitting me right in the feels. You see Liara walking up a dead Reaper, and oh, dude, it's a perfect trailer. It's so good.
Perfect
I
title
can't
too.
fuck-
Perfect
Oh
title.
yeah,
Mass Effect
Mass Effect will continue, dude.
What a
Can't wait.
title, dude. I can't wait
It's
for
a
it.
great title.
I feel like
So,
that's so
yeah.
cool, right? Because if they had just said Mass Effect will return or Mass Effect coming soon, might assume that it's just, oh, it's going to be another Mass Effect with different characters, different world, whatever. No, they want you to know this is the sequel to Mass Effect 3 that you've always wanted. This is the characters you're going to get. You're going to get the Citadel. You're going to get all these people you've met before. And oh my God, it's just so exciting. This is what Mass Effect fans want.
Yeah, and I can't even begin to wrap my head around what it's going to be because there were 3 endings to Mass Effect 3 that were very different. And
Are they all that different though?
I mean, yeah. Like in one of them, you destroy the Reapers, and one of them, you take control of them. In one of them, there's like total synthesis where like humans and machines are like in total harmony. Like, yeah. In one of them, Shepard fucking lives. In the other 2, he dies.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, they're gonna have
So
to
like,
do a canon ending, right?
yeah, they're
mean,
gonna have to pick one. They like, there's no way they can go into this and people. Here's what people need to understand right now: your save doesn't mean shit. Get over it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like you got to get over that right now because they're gonna pick one. They're gonna pick one and they're gonna say this is the canon ending.
I don't know how specific it's going to be though. I just feel like I feel like this Mass Effect is going to be what The Force Awakens is to the previous Star Wars, the original trilogy. It picks up where it left off, but it doesn't give you all the information of what's happened to the characters, where they've been, the ending. It doesn't spell out the ending of Return of the Jedi. It just continues the story. And I feel like this
we could get the band back together, and those are the
that's
best kind of
gonna be.
stories.
It's Liara and a crew trying to find Commander Shepard's. It's literally like The Force Awakens. It literally is.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way to even try to sit here and predict what they're gonna do. What you're saying sounds incredible. Like if you are just
right?
if you are this new person who goes and finds, maybe Garrus plays this Han Solo type of character, and you're running around the galaxy with, I don't know how much Turian's age. I know Liara lives to be like 1,500 years old.
Turians are close to human, I think.
Yeah,
like 87 or something.
Yeah, and so like, who knows how long it's been? Because like we only see Liara. We don't see another character, and Asari live fucking forever, like for over 1,000 of our years. So and she looks old.
Think so?
Yeah, she looks old, dude. She's got wrinkles. She's like, she's old. This is an older Liara, and so this could be 500, 600, 1,000 years in the future. Because when you meet Liara in the original trilogy, she's only like 50 ish. and that for an Asari, that's like being 20. Like not even 20. Like you're still like a baby in Asari years. You know what I mean? And so like, yeah, like this could be set in the far future, and
I mean,
man,
I
it's
hope not,
exciting.
because you're getting further away from what the trilogy was, right? I think if I had to guess, I would say this is set maybe 5, maybe 10 years after Mass Effect 3. So the galaxy is, I mean, potential spoilers here. The galaxy is rebuilding. There's fleets of people like trying to go around the galaxy, fix up the mass relays, get civilization back on track, all that kind of stuff. And even I think in the trailer, when she's walking up the snow mountain, I think you see the remains of a Reaper
Reapers.
body in the
Yeah.
background. Yeah,
She's walking up a Reaper.
yeah, for sure.
Like the structure she's walking up is a dead Reaper. And then you
Reaper, like,
also
covered
see,
in
yeah,
snow.
like Reaper, yeah, you see Reaper legs in the background.
Yeah.
It's
So hasn't
it's
that
epic.
just not been cleaned up? Like, my assumption would be like this is shortly after Mass Effect 3. The Reapers' bodies are still just like lying about everywhere. The galaxy's a mess, and like the goal is kind of just to like rebuild, like go around the galaxy, meet people, make connections, do missions for people, and let's get the galaxy back on track. Let's,
Yeah, because
for
if you
whatever
think
reason, we
about
need Shepard for that.
yeah, if you think of, I don't think Shepard's coming back.
I don't think
But
so.
no, I don't think so. I
Not
think
even
that
like the very, very, very end of the game, just like
no,
a tease or
I
something.
think
No.
her seeing that piece of N7 equipment and picking it up was just a subtle nod. Because N7 equipment's not exclusive to Shepard. Shepard's not the only one that used N7
But like,
armor.
he's
So
one of the only people in the galaxy that really wears it, right? I mean, aside from like some random
I mean, the
human
Pathfinder
people, I
wore
guess.
it, and a lot of people in Andromeda were wearing that shit. And so like,
Fucking.
so
I was in the Twitch chat and I asked Jeff Grubb, "Hey, do you think this new Mass Effect is a continuation of 3?" And he went, "I think it's a continuation of 3 and Andromeda." I'm here to tell you right now,
yeah,
people, Jeff Grubb is wrong. There's no
I
way.
I think it's after 3 by a significant amount of time, and I think her seeing the N7 just made her smile because she had a memory of Shepard. You know what I mean? I don't think there's that much to read into it. I don't think
there's anything to read into at this moment in time.
No, and I don't think she's
Reading
out
into it,
looking
baby.
for. I don't think she's out looking for Shepard. I think she found something that said N7 on it, and she was reminded of Shepard, and so it made her smile, and that was it. But it's super dope to know it's coming back, and I cannot fucking wait. God,
Kevin.
How long do you think this game like is far away? Do you think it's like 3 years, 5 years?
4 years.
Yeah, probably
4 4 years ish.
I think Mike Gamble, who is the new director of this game, put something on Twitter recently about. He said like, I've been waiting 1,360 days or whatever to announce this, which would put it back to 2017. So like, have they been working on this game for 3 years, or has it just been an game for 3 years?
When did Andromeda come out?
2015.
Really?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about
maybe.
right. Yeah, because I was playing it right after I graduated from college, I think.
No, March 21st, 2017.
2017.
2017.
Okay, so a little bit after college.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
3 years ago,
So
damn.
excited.
I mean, I think that they probably haven't been working on it for that long. Maybe they've been like discussing story ideas and like what they want to do with it, but I don't think they've actually been like developing a physical video game.
No, I think development got really, really difficult when they announced new consoles, and I think we're seeing that right now with Cyberpunk. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is 3 to 4 years away.
What about Dragon Age? Because that's before this game, right? The new Dragon Age. So
supposedly
we get Dragon Age, a couple of years out, and then Mass Effect a couple of years after that, or because you have to assume that
I'm still looking forward to Anthem 2.0. Okay.
I hope.
Oh my god,
that game! I don't want to hear about that anymore.
It's coming, dude.
Where's Flurple? Get Flurple.
It's coming because they talked about this way before they talked about Dragon Age and Mass Effect. So It's
Yeah.
coming soon.
Will they ever continue working on it after it comes out? Like once Anthem 2.0 comes out, do you think they just say, "Okay, that's the
I
game.
don't
Let's
think
move
Anthem
on"?
2.0 ever actually comes out.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
That's something they probably
We'll
had
see,
to
we'll
say to
see.
please the shareholders.
If it does come out though, and it pops off like it did with No Man's Sky, how they did there,
Romansky.
yeah, maybe they'll continue it a bit more, like here and there. Well, I don't know.
Can't imagine any more development time going into that game. I think it's just
It was a
an
cool
age
game though.
Mass Effect, and that's that's their two teams effectively.
Yeah,
the
let's.
next 5 years.
The BioWare has 3 big studios. Everybody. I mean, we know this. Unless they shut one.
I think they shut the Montreal one that did Andromeda, right? Is that not?
No, I think Andromeda was kind of a hodgepodge of all 3 working on it, and that's why it was so lifeless and without vision.
Really? I thought they
Yeah.
gave it to like the third studio effectively, like the one that was up in Canada that didn't have any communication with people.
Yeah, I think they. All I know is they sort of treat Austin sort of like the C team, the BioWare and down in Austin. But I would rather them just focus their vision on Mass Effect and Dragon Age. And I know they're probably arguably like about equal in popularity. Dragon Age is loved, and I don't care for Dragon Age.
I love
Particularly.
Dragon Age. I love that game.
Okay.
I finished everything there was to do.
Yeah, and there are a ton of people who did because Inquisition was dope, and I only played Inquisition for about 4 hours. It's not for me. I see where people love it and why, because it is it's got that BioWare sort of feel to it.
That dialogue wheel.
Yeah, the big dialogue wheel and characters that feel important.
Love a good wheel.
So yeah, I'm just so excited, dude. That was the best thing to come out of Game Awards for me, was that trailer.
Kevin.
Yes.
Mass Effect is so far away.
Don't say that.
Until next time.
Oh, we're sending off right now? Oh, I was so confused.
I tease you up to worse.
Like Cyberpunk
every week is a different tease.
Tell FoxToTheFuture, where can we find you? You got to say that type of stuff,
Yeah, we got to tell.
Oh yeah,
and promote
Fox to the Future. Where can we find you? What are you doing on the internet? What would you like to tell the people about?
Oh, well, luckily you've caught me on a week where I'm doing a lot of stuff. Snowbike Bike Highlights #2 out now. YouTube.com.
I loved it. Phasmophobia, box jump scares, and Warzone. Nothing better.
Nothing better, baby. And I also have a video out right now for MC Fixer playing Cyberpunk. YouTube.com/MC Fixer. And you can find me on Twitter, just FoxToTheFuture.
Very nice. You can find Washburn where you find Washburn, and Kevin where you find Kevin. And
damn, dude.
The silent assassin.
Being
real quick, Mike, what do you think about it? About everything, Mike? Cyberpunk, Mass Effect.
I love it, Kevin. It's so cool.
Oh, it's so cool, dude. Man, dude, 2 days. 2 days.
Oh my gosh, Cyberpunk, so cool. Mass Effect, incredible. What a great podcast. Fox the Future, A+, awesome stuff. Had a great time.
Thank you for joining us.
Review.
Now you can say it, Maddock. It's so far away.
Mass Effect is so far away.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Until
Kevin.
next time.
Thumbs out.